Hello and welcome, I'm DDF Racer, and today I'm going to be taking a closer look at the Aston Martin Vantage GTE car recently released for rFactor 2. Now, I've already driven this car in one of my previous videos where I ran a few laps around the Nordschleife, but that doesn't really count. That was a handful of laps at best, on an empty track, not representative. This is an endurance racer and I need to run it through its paces properly, so what better test than an hour race at Estoril against a full field of the other GTEs, but also the LMP3s, LMP2s, and the new LMP1 or LMHC hypercar class too. Better make sure those mirrors are set up properly.
The air temp is 26 Celsius. Green. On your right.
Okay, so here we are in the GTE Aston Martin. Estoril starting 8th in class, heading down to the first gun for the first time, made a bit of a tardy start. You see a lot of brake lights ahead of us. Ooh, almost have to take to the grass on the outside to avoid going into the car ahead of us there.
Still there.
We've got someone in a Corvette trying to pinch us. Very tight and twisty circuit this, Estoril of Portugal.
Still there, clear right. Right side.
This is exactly the kind of circuit you want when you're going to be having at least 40 cars going around.
We're on the left, right side's clear.
Multi-class as well. That Corvette's got the inside of both of us as we go for the cheeky dive bomb on the inside onto the left-hander.
Clear line, clear on the right.
Got him. So we're back up to 8th. Nothing gained, nothing lost. Build up a little bit of speed on the backstretch here. And then heavy on the brakes again. The field is so compact at this point. Everyone trying to vie for position. Find some clear tarmac. I've got a feeling this is going to be a bit of a hectic race. It's going to be very much looking in the mirrors, trying to find a spot for 60 minutes. Gonna have to have maximum attention as we come to a very clumsy left-right, super slow chicane over the top of the hill. Inside tyres lift off the ground, get a bit of wheel spin. So we now head towards the final left-hander. And the Parabolica-esque final corner here at Estoril. Just waiting to put the power down, and now we can floor it onto the backstretch, and away we go. So still in 8th position, but we've got a good run on the car ahead of us. Going to peek out to the inside. He's going to defend it though, so we have to go to the outside.
0.09. Right side, keep your line, clear right.
He's better on the brakes. Has he gone deep though? Maybe he has.
Okay, Dan, the next car is Alexandra.
That's not really an overtaking opportunity, so we're going to have to hold on again. Pop it down to first gear, very bumpy apex here. Hard to get on the power. And this one just seems to go on forever, just slowly, and planted. Oh, taking a little bit of grass on the exit there, that's not going to do me any favours. We've got someone all over us in the mirror. Don't really have the pace here. Of course, this is a circuit that I am familiar with, but not for a long time. Last time I drove this in any kind of sim was probably Formula 1 Grand Prix, based on the 1991 Formula 1 season, the game of my childhood. So I'm a little bit out of practice. I've never raced at this modern version with the tightened up turn 1. I'm used to the two really fast first and second corners.
Clear left.
Come on, trying to sneak a nose at the inside there. That's not going to happen though. As you can probably see by now, it's quite hard to overtake around this corner, this circuit. You've got to get a good run out of the final corner, or out of the hairpin on the back straight, but we do have a good run here. Now last time he defended it, and he's going to defend it again.
Left side.
Whoa! He's going to push me all the way to the inside of the main straight. And now we've got the inside though, going to force the move up into 7th place.
Hold your line.
Just conscious of locking the tyres. And we got him.
Time was 1:42.21.
Of course, as is the case with all of the GTE cars in rFactor 2, and oh, too wide.
Watch the track limits. We'll get a penalty if we don't.
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by my terrible driving and Mr. Spotter warning me about the track limits, these cars don't have ABS. So it's very easy to snatch a brake and lock the tyres here and there. It looks like we've got a McLaren Senna behind us. He must have started way out of position. We'll give him the line on the outside.
Right side clear.
I think he must have qualified right at the back, had an accident in qualifying perhaps. He's now going to make his way through the field, so that wasn't the leader coming around already. Looking at the overlay, he is 6th in class, and there are only 6 McLaren LMHC cars in the race today. 6 LMP2s, 6 LMP3s, and 16 GTEs. So we are currently running in 7th place in class out of 16 GTEs, which isn't too bad. It's going to be a hell of a lot of hard work if we're going to get any further up the field. I believe we've got a BMW ahead of us of, well, none other than Marcel Offermans. I doubt he's going to make it easy for me, as I can see the Senna up ahead trying to make their way through the gap, through the field.
Okay, now relax, focus, keep it smooth. The gap to Offermans in front is now 0.7. You've just done a 141.31. That's your fastest lap today. The gap to Alexandra behind is now 2.2 seconds.
Just going to roll it through the apex there. It's not a bad car to drive at all, this. Although, disclaimer, I have made quite a lot of setup changes. I'm running a ridiculously high rear wing. I've softened the suspension all around, more on the rear than the front. Detach the rear anti-roll bar. Tyre pressures are absolute minimum, because that's just the way rFactor 2 works, unfortunately. You are locked into very specific constraints. These cars just react to certain setups, and you always want to go minimum tyre pressures and detached rear anti-roll bar. And this is to try and counteract the recent physics changes where the feels as if the rear wing has been taken off the car and glued to the front. To quote someone very influential in my sim racing career. But this is not too bad to drive. I spent a lot of laps in the BMW on this channel, the BMW M8 GTE car. So I'm very familiar with that. And this is a learning experience. This is different. Although it's not like trying to learn a completely new type of car like the LMCH, the McLaren Senna that I have done recently. This is at least somewhat familiar.
Gap to Offermans ahead is now 0.26. The lap time was at 140.82. That's your best lap in this session. The gap to Alexandra behind is now 3.2.
Oh, missed the apex completely there. And for the second time this race, go wide at that corner. Didn't get a cut track warning that time though. Managed to get away with it, so that doesn't add to my tally. Although my driving is getting a little bit scruffy. I can see a few positions ahead of us. 6th, 5th, 4th. I think the podium's a little bit way down the road. I'll have to do some super laps to catch up with that guy. But I am liking this Aston Martin GTE more than I thought I would. I did do a handful of laps in the previous video around the Nordschleife, but they were just hot laps, they didn't really count. This is going to be a true test of an endurance car in a full stint in an endurance multi-class race. On a track that was actually featured in the previous season of the Virtual Endurance Championships. So the pros raced here, the official guys raced here. I'd say that's a good enough test, eh? Oh, a bit wide there, and that's going to compromise us through the final corner. Oh, I could have had a good run. Maybe next lap. Now I've got to keep an eye on my fuel usage here. I'm currently averaging about 2.43 litres a lap. I need to make sure I don't go above 2.5 over the course of the race.
Your last lap time was at 141.21. Sector 1 is 0.7 off the pace. The gap to Alexandra behind is now 4.4 seconds.
And the reason I say not to go over 2.5 litres a lap is because it is actually possible to do this race on a single tank, just about. Provided I don't go over the 2.5 average a lap. And because the tyres here are going to hang on so well, Like, I can easily get an hour's worth out of a soft set of tyres. Theoretically, I shouldn't have to make a pit stop in this race. Although it's going to be very touch and go. I'm not sure if the AI will be doing any fuel saving and what their fuel numbers are like. So, they may need to come in for a splash and dash at the end of the race, which may throw the whole thing wide open. So although it looks like I'm stuck in 7th position now, the race could very well come into our hands towards the end with a clever little bit of strategy, but that's only going to become apparent towards the end of the hour. So stick around, guys, because we got a battle on our hands right here that's shaping up rather nicely, even without the strategy. We've got 3 cars directly ahead of me, and they're all for position. What's going to make it even more spicy, as I almost lose the rear then, big slide. What's going to make it even more spicy is before long, the LMHC cars. I have to stop myself saying LMP1, they're not LMP1s, they're LMHCs. Before long, the LMHCs are going to be coming through to lappers, and that's going to disrupt the whole race.
Ahead is now 0.8. That last lap was at 141.52. The gap to Alexandra behind is now 4.8.
It's a nice healthy gap to the car behind. We're holding station nicely with Offerman's ahead of us. Although it is proving quite tricky to get close. I keep on making silly little mistakes and losing all of the good time that I've gained. Although saying that, we're now closer than we've ever been at any point during this race, but it's so tight around here. I'm going to have to choose my move very wisely. And as we've seen so far in the first few laps of this race, the AI are very good at defending as Offerman's clouts the curb there. It's all kind of sideways, but there's just nowhere I can go. Do a little dummy up the inside, see if I can force him into some defensive driving, but that doesn't seem to work. Sticks very nicely to his lines, and I'm the one who ends up losing time. We head down to the clumsy chicane for one more lap. We're already approaching the end of the 7th lap here at Estoril. Wow, this race is going by so quick. 12 minutes down, 48 to go. If you guys are enjoying the racing so far, then you know what to do. Don't forget to leave the video a like, share your comments, and subscribe if you want to see more, because you know me, I upload sim racing videos, and if you want to see that, press subscribe, guys. It makes sense.
Ahead is now 0.43. That lap was at 141.00. The gap to Alexandra behind is now 5.8.
Had to get very heavy on the brakes then. Both front tyres glowing bright red in the overlay. Just left it a little bit too late. And like I said earlier on, no ABS. So if you lock the brakes, you lock the brakes. There's nothing's going to save you, apart from your left foot, of course. Although there is traction control, so you don't have to rely on the delicacy of a right foot as well. Although the more traction control you use, the more the car bogs down at slow speed corners, and the more fuel it uses as well. So it's all about balancing act. Speaking of fuel, I'm currently sitting on an average of 2.42 litres a lap, which should be good enough. Should be good enough for the end of the race. Of course, I absolutely tanked the car at the start, put 100 litres in, that's the maximum that this Aston Martin GTE will take. We physically can't fit any more fuel in, so if we don't make it, there's not really much more we could have done apart from drive more cautiously. Going to try taking a bit less speed through that corner. I need to set up the run. I'm not having a good job at setting up the run at the moment. My exit out of the slow speed chicane is terrible, which then puts me too far behind through the final series of corners. I just can't do anything.
The gap to Offerman's in front is now 0.7. You've just done a 141.54. The gap to Alexandra behind is now 7.6 seconds.
Making up a heap of time in the first corner though, in the heavy braking zones. It seems entry to slow speed this Aston is very good at.
Car right.
Ooh. Gonna try around the outside. We still got him.
He's still there. Clear right.
There we go. He just held up on the apex.
Nice move, mate.
Tried a very opportunistic move around the outside. We got him. Up to 6th position. Next target, Keith Comghall. I believe that's how you pronounce that name. Sorry, Keith, if that's not the case. Well, we are now greeted at the back. Greeted with the sight at the back of another BMW. It seems as though the car ahead, Ernie, is holding everyone up. Oh, I think I may have just grazed the tyres on the inside there. Did I get any damage, Spotter? It sounded a bit...
Looks like you got some minor bodywork damage.
Yeah, it sounded a bit crunchy. The car just gripped a lot more than I thought it would. Had a little bit of a scrape on the inside. Doesn't seem to be too bad though. It's not affected the suspension or the handling too badly. I think I just put a few scrapes on the front right hand side of the car. Although we are now under pressure. Marcel's right behind us. I'm going to have to start thinking about going defensive. Going to go to the inside defend.
Offermans behind is now 0.10. Car left, clear left.
Oh, he tried it. He tried it. He tried to go around the outside, but it's not going to work there. It's just too long. Nah. I'm just making it easy for them now. Making silly mistakes like that. Just going to hand the race straight back to them. Although we are now in 6th position. Looks like 4th. The next car, not the next car, but the one after it, that's definitely the bottleneck. Looks like we're both losing time behind them. So I need to try and get past him as soon as I can. And get up the road, because 3rd place is long gone. They're about 10 seconds down the road now. I have to put in some mega laps if I want to get them back. And I think I can see the LMPs every time. It's not a Force India, it's a Racing Point. The LMHC cars are coming up behind us in the relative. So that should mix things up very soon. Put the pigeon amongst the cats.
Class cars are catching.
Whoa! Big snap on the rear. This is something I haven't done in this Aston so far. A long stint. I've done a few laps here and there, maybe no more than maybe 9 or 10 consecutive laps in practice.
Blue flag. Alright.
So from this point on, the handling of the car
is now 0.9. The gap to Offermans behind is now
the handling of the car is going to be an adventure.
141.59.
There goes the other McLaren Senna.
Alright Dan, there's a faster car bearing down on you. He's the class leader. Right side's clear. Blue flag. It's car on your right.
Give him the inside.
Car on your right side. Right side's clear.
Give him the inside. There we go. Oh, that's the leader of the LMP2s. They're keeping up with the Sennas nicely around this track. I would have thought that
right side, clear right.
The Sennas would have been all over the place.
Car on your right side. Right side.
Oh, there's a traffic
Right
jam. We got
clear.
mugged by one of the GTEs.
Keep pushing, we might get him back. Car on your right.
Oh, this is chaos.
Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear right.
Looks like we got back past Marcel again. And status quo ahead of us somehow after that carnage with the Sennas and the LMP2 leader getting past us. Everything's exactly back the way it was. Back in 6th place with the 2 cars ahead, directly ahead, and Marcel all over the mirrors. Such is the nature of endurance multiclass racing. There's the ebb and flow, and everything just works out in the end, one way or the other. Oh, Marcel's all over the back of us now. That was a terrible lap making our way through traffic. Looks like there's another couple of Sennas coming up behind us on the straight, but I don't think they'll get us before the first corner.
There's a group of faster cars behind. They're racing for position. Blue flag. The gap to Offermans behind is now 0.20.
Nope, they didn't get us. They are battling out between themselves. Looks like Marcel behind us has given them position, which gives us a little bit of breathing space behind. And it is up to the LMP every time. It's up to the LMHC cars, the Sennas, to find a way past. I am under no obligation to give them the racing line.
All right.
Ah!
Clear on the right.
He just gave us a freebie.
Blue flag. Well done, mate. That was great.
There's a car
I
right.
feel like I should give him the outside.
Right side's clear.
Come on, Senna, go for it.
All right. Clear right.
Yeah, that GTE ahead of us then just slowed down on the straight to let the Senna pass.
Sector 3. Sector 3 is
Also
yellow.
let me pass in the process as well.
There's a group of faster cars behind you. They're racing for position. I think P3's gone off in the S's.
Ooh, big snap on the rear then.
Car on your right. You are clear on the right.
Whoa!
Green flag sector 3.
All right. Clear on the right.
A couple of casualties ahead of us. There's some freebies there. Oh, looks like we're now up to third position. How did that happen?
All right.
People dying
Right
everywhere.
side's clear.
We're now up to third. Looks like third position span and fourth position also span as well.
Blue flag.
So we inherit a couple of
The gap
freebies.
in front is now 23 seconds. Great driving. Keep it up.
Car on your right. Right side's clear.
P3. The gap behind is now 1.3.
Told you guys this race would be getting busy. Keeping one eye on the mirrors and one eye ahead of us. Got to be smart in the traffic, can't afford to give up too much time while we're being lapped. As was expertly demonstrated by Mr. AI on the back straight last lap round, we got a freebie. And I tried to do the right thing to slow down and let him back past again.
There's a faster car approaching.
It all got a little bit messy. But the end result is we're up to third position, we're on lap 13 and we've got 40 minutes left to go in this race, there or thereabouts. That worked out very much in our favour. But like I said earlier, there's very much an ebb and a flow in these endurance races, so I don't doubt that I'm going to get screwed over at some point and I'm going to lose all of this advantage. As long as I don't spin, that's good. Just hold it on the island, run our pace. Although it looks like third position, whoever was in third position is now directly behind us, and they clearly have more pace. Oh no!
Yellow flag in sector 3.
There's death in the mirrors. Just as I said that, the person who was in third position, who fought their way back up again, spins off the track, getting lapped by one of the Sennas.
Sector 3 is clear.
Right side. Clear right.
We were under quite a lot of pressure then, but that threat seems to have disappeared now. Everybody's dying.
Ahead is now 24 seconds. That was a 141.72. The gap behind is now 1.2 seconds.
So now all we got to do is just focus. Put some good laps in. Try and catch up to second position. But I'm not quite sure how far they are down the road. Wow. So close to looping the car then. Went in way too deep. Almost locked the rears and sent the car spinning round. Whew. It's very hot. I am recording this video pretty much directly after the McLaren Senna at Circuit of the Americas video that I did. If that's not already been uploaded, then it will be uploaded soon. I'm not sure which order I'm going to upload them in, but I'm recording them both at the same time. And let me tell you, it is stinking hot in Brisbane today. We're almost topping 40 degrees now. First proper day of summer has struck. And I'm feeling it. I'd be lying if I was telling you I wasn't a little bit sweaty right now, which is exactly what I'm sure you wanted to be hearing. I am feeling quite physically drained, quite mentally drained as well. My concentration isn't quite as sharp as it could be.
Right side's clear.
So, I'm probably all red in the face as well. no doubt a wet t-shirt competition before this race is over if this carries on.
26 seconds. That lap was at 1:42.08. The gap behind is now 4.2.
So we got 4.2 seconds to the car behind. Got a good gap. I wasn't paying attention to the spotter on the gap to the car ahead, unfortunately. Have to keep an eye out for that next time around.
There's a faster class car behind.
Because it's such a small, narrow track here. All the classes have just dispersed. There's traffic everywhere, so it's going to be very hard to find some clear space from now on. Oh, no, no, no. Ah, locked up the tyres. That's not good. That's not good. Silly mistake.
Track limits, come on.
Obviously Mr. Spotter's not too impressed with that either. Just locked the outside front going into the hairpin. Car's starting to progress towards understeer now. Like I said at the start of the race, I haven't driven more than 10 laps in this car consecutively. So this is all a learning experience, this is all an adventure as to how this car's going to handle throughout the rest of the stint. We are approaching halfway in the race now. 34 minutes to go here at Estoril. What an amazing circuit as well, actually. This is way better than I remembered. Back in the F1 GP days, I wasn't the biggest fan of this track, but this modern iteration in HD, for want of a better word.
The gap behind is now 0.7.
I'm actually quite annoyed at myself for not racing here sooner. This is a great track. Great for GTs as well. Very satisfying to drive in this car.
The car behind's a faster class.
No, he's not. He's a BMW and I'm racing him for position. Excuse me. Oh, there's a Senna coming as well. Okay. Okay, I get what you mean now, Mr. Spotter. You can see that speck of blue in the mirrors. I need to start picking up the pace. I need to get back into the 1 minute 40s. Oh, as we lock the outside tyre again and run desperately wide.
He's on your left. You are clear on the left.
I think the grip's definitely starting to go. Got to be careful, got to watch out for these tyres. I don't want to lock them up too heavily and get a flat spot, because that's going to go with me for the rest of the race. Because looking at the fuel numbers, what are we on? 2.42 average. We should easily make it to the end of the race. Okay, I'm running in race mode. I'm not running it in lean mode or safety car mode. I could probably turn it up to quali for a few laps if I absolutely have to. We'll see how we go towards the end of the race.
Alright, Dan, it's a faster class car approaching.
The LMP3 is coming through. We'll give him the right hand side of the track, make our intentions clear and stick to the left.
There's a car right. Right side's clear.
The gap ahead is now 27 seconds. The gap behind is now 1.0 seconds. That lap was at 1:41.77.
Yeah, definitely starting to struggle with the brakes now.
You're locking your right front going into turn 1.
Might see if I can nudge the brake bias rear a click or two. The rear does feel quite stable going into the corners, and then hopefully this little nudge in the setup should help bring the balance away from the front brakes, the front tyres, and stop them from locking up as much. That's the theory anyway. Well, it seems to work in that corner, no lockup, and I didn't seem to be braking earlier than normal. Although we got a 27 gap to the car ahead. P2 is long gone down the road, so I don't think we'll be getting any higher than this in the race. Just a case of defending from position 4 now. Hoping that our pace doesn't drop off too much, the tyres don't drop off too much. And who knows, if we are good on the fuel, and the AI have been absolutely fanging it round, then we might make up some more places at the end. If they come in for pit stops and we don't have to, that's... Ooh, it's a solid 40 seconds advantage right there. Well, I'm not sure what the gap to the leader is, but I know the gap to second place is about 29 seconds. And even with full fuel, I don't think I could go faster than them.
The gap in front is now 28 seconds. That was 140.95. The gap behind is now 0.8.
Definitely not troubling the apex on that lap. I think I need to start braking a little bit earlier into turn 1. Yeah, 4th place isn't going away in a hurry. He's hanging on in the mirrors.
Okay, now halfway home. Fuel looks good.
It's less than a second behind me, and hopefully 5th and 6th don't start catching up again as well. Marcel was pretty hard to get past before. Hint of a lock up there. And the rear comes round on exit. The car is definitely swinging balance. I mean, it feels good to drive though. I'm definitely getting into the flow of it. I'm not sure if I prefer it to the BMW. I don't think I do. Although I've done a lot of laps in the BMW GTE, that is definitely my favourite. It's going to take a lot to knock that off the top step, I'd say. Oh, running a little bit too wide out the final corner then, kicking up a bit of gravel. We don't get a cut track, but it's not going to help us squeak down the straight.
The temp is now 28. The track temperature is now 28 Celsius. The gap ahead is now 28 seconds. The gap behind is now 0.5. Your lap time was 141.10.
That was a pretty solid lap. Very low 1 minute 41, but I need to get back into the 1 minute 40s. A low 1 minute 40 would be good. Of course, the tyres are now starting to show some signs of wear. Although with the fuel coming down, that does tend to balance out the performance in these GTE cars. Peak performance in the first 3 laps in the stint, maybe, and then it just kind of plateaus off for a bit. A bit too wide, kicking up a bit of grass on the outside there. I'm definitely feeling the pressure. And I don't doubt it'll be long before the LMHC cars come round to lap us again. And I know that they can definitely make it to the end of the race. The McLaren Senna GTR is very good on fuel. With fuel saving, you could quite easily get an hour and a half out of it. I know the LMP2s, you can maybe get 45 minutes though, maybe half the stint length. They're very, very thirsty cars. So we'll definitely see some LMP2 pit stops in this race. Maybe some LMP3s as well, I'm not sure.
The gap in front is now 29 seconds. That lap was at 141.05. The gap behind is now 0.42.
Just very conscious of locking up the tyres. I'm feeling the pressure, that's for sure. The pressure and the temperature. A bit wide. The rear's getting all kinds of loose. He's all over the back of me now. Really need to start concentrating. 1 minute 41s aren't going to be good enough to keep this guy behind me. Something I love about this track is the bumps. There's so much feel in the road surface. Never really noticed that before on some other tracks. The very detailed road surface. Oh, he's all over the back of me. He's sniffing up the inside, but he's not going to get it there. I'm not going to have to go defensive into the chicane, am I? I'll take a very tight line just in case. Ah, slidey, slidey, slidey. Not good. Whew. Oh, messed that one up completely. It's not going to get me around the outside of Parabolica. keep a nice tight line. Take the opportunity away from him to have the drive down the straight. But he's still got the slipstream. He's moving to the inside, so I'm going to move over slowly, make my intentions clear. I'm going to defend the inside.
The front is now 29 seconds. Your last lap time was at 1:41.76.
Left side, still there, clear on the left.
Oh, he tried it. He tried it. The other two cars behind me are closing in so much as well. Wow, that gap was 4 seconds. It's now down to 2. Oh, how this race has changed. I was the fast one at the start. Now I'm the cork in the bottle.
There's a faster car behind. He's class leader.
Looks like the leader of the race overall is going to be coming through shortly in the centre. Looks like Walter Lucan.
You've got half your fuel left.
Fuel is starting to look a little bit tight though. It's creeping up to 2.45 litres a lap. Need to keep an eye on that. Although the last thing I wanted to be doing in this kind of situation is thinking about fuel saving. I just want to give it maximum beans and defend this position. No! Whew! I was about to say that I had a much better drive through the penultimate corner, but then went and lost all that time in the final corner. Oh, that looks like the McLaren Senna behind us is going to lap us for the second time this race. It's actually caused quite a lot of disruption to the cars behind.
On the right.
The gap in front is now 13 seconds. The gap behind is now 2.0 seconds. That lap time was 1:41.41.
Yep, we've definitely gapped the cars behind through that traffic there. That Senna coming through has worked to our advantage rather nicely. And if we can just hold this advantage and stop him from getting back in the slipstream again, that should help us out, because he's not going to have the advantage of being pulled along on the straights. And hopefully the cars behind start to battle between themselves as well. So it looks like there's a little bit of a respite in the pressure. Time to take a little bit of a breather. Reset, readjust, get back into the groove again. See if we can get back on the pace. Back into the 1:40s will be nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Aston Martin Vantage GTE. But yeah, I'm enjoying driving this car a lot more than I did around the Nordschleife. In hindsight, I think maybe the Nordschleife wasn't the right place to take those cars for a road test. I mean, I absolutely loved the circuit. But when I drove the McLaren Senna at the Circuit of the Americas, I had a completely different feel to it. I mean, it still wasn't great, but I did get used to it a lot more. And the same with this Aston today. Driving it around Estoril here as opposed to the Nordschleife, it's definitely a lot more representative.
Behind is now 3.4.
Car right. Keep your line. Clear right.
Your lap time was at 1:40.93. Sector 3 is 0.7 off the pace.
Definitely a lot more representative, I'd say. Getting a much better feel for it now.
Okay, Dan, there's a faster car bearing down on you. He's the class leader.
Looks like the leader of the LMP3s is going to come through and lap us now. I wasn't expecting that to happen so soon in this race. LMP3s, not too much pace difference between us around this track. GTEs and the LMP3s have been historically quite closely matched. I'm presuming that's some of the reason why they were dropped from the Virtual Endurance Championship this year. With the addition of the McLaren Senna in the LMHC class, you've got the LMHC, you've got the LMP2s, and you've got your GTEs. There wasn't really a need for the LMP3, I guess. They always used to trip over each other. And over the course of a 24-hour race, there maybe were 2 laps, 3 laps in it, which is nothing. Looks like the Tyres have been removed from the apex of that corner, which seems to psychologically open it up a lot more. Obviously I'm very cautious of taking too much curb and destroying one of the corners of the car on a tyre bundle. But now it's been removed, it's going to be quite tempting to take a lot more curb there. Hopefully I don't play fire with the stewards.
1.62. Sectors 1 and 3 are 1.1 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.8 off the pace. Blue flag. The gap behind is now 3.3.
Well, the LMP3 behind us is going to have to find a way to let him pass somewhere. This corner's as good as any.
There's a guy on your right. He's still there.
Oh,
right,
slight tap. I thought I gave him plenty of room then. He just seemed to wiggle the rear coming out of the corner.
Okay, Dan, there's a faster class car approaching.
Although I think that's the same corner that I scraped the tyre barriers on before, so that shouldn't affect me too much. I think I've already got some panel damage there.
You're looking really good. Come on, keep your focus. Blue flag. 20 minutes remaining. You've got 20 minutes left.
Left side, there's a car. Left side's clear.
That guy was going for the dive bomb. Saw him coming in the mirrors a long way off. There's no point trying to hold him up, especially with him being in the faster class. We didn't seem to lose too much time. Second place, still well and truly out of reach. Ah, too wide there, missed the apex completely. Yeah, second place is well and truly out of reach unless they've burned through a lot more fuel than I have and need to make an extra pit stop. Fourth place has fallen back ever so slightly now. We're relatively safe. And by relatively I mean 3.5 seconds safe, 4.5 seconds now as they make their way through
There's a faster car approaching. The gap
through the cars.
is now 37 seconds. You've just done a 1:43.10. The gap behind is now 3.5 seconds.
Which we're now down into the 1 minute 43s with everyone else making their way through. It's very hard to get a clean lap in now that the field is all spread out. Don't want to hold this guy too much longer and get a penalty for blocking, so I'm going to lift off and give him the inside.
Car on your left side. He's still there.
Let him take the apex. Come on, get on with
Clear
it.
on the left.
There we go. Oh, lost a heap of time there. That wasn't good. We're now 2/3 of the way through this race, 18 minutes to go.
Blue flag. Yellow flag, sector 3. Green flag, sector 3. I think P3 has binned it in. Parabolica air and centre.
On your right. Clear on the right.
Sounds like someone's gone off. Mr. Spotter's saying P3, but that can't be this class, because I'm in P3, and I've definitely not binned it. Although famous last words, commentators curse, you know how it goes, guys. You've watched enough of my videos.
There's a group of faster cars bearing down on you.
Very cheeky amounts of curb now that the tyre barriers have gone on the inside there. Although I don't think it was much slower. Then we bounced across the track more than smoothly glided over it. Glided? Glid? I don't know. We're completing another lap.
The front is now 38 seconds. You've just done a 1:42.80. Sector 1 is 2.0 off the pace. The gap behind is now 2.7.
Got another centre behind us. Give him the inside line.
Car on your right side. Still there, clear right. Car on your right. Still there, right side's clear.
Sector 1 is yellow.
There was someone else there.
Looks like P5's gone off in bit curve.
Oh, did I just take an LMP2 out the race? I didn't realise there was somebody still there. The mirrors were clear. Oh.
That's the car behind. Green flag, sector 1.
I mean, luckily this is only AI, but if Jimmy Allison, the VEC race director, was watching the race right now,
Car on your right.
I think I would definitely be under investigation.
Still with you.
I'm pretty sure I just murdered an LMP2. Oh dear. Yeah, it's a lot faster if you just clip the inside curb instead of going over it. The camber of the track just pulls you around the corner as opposed to launching you off the air, off the track into the air. Anyway, that's another lap down. Complete the end of lap 26. We've got 2 seconds to the car behind us and 15 minutes left in this race.
39 seconds. That lap time was 1:42.86. The gap behind is now 1.3.
Going to try second gear through the first corner there. Our fuel usage has gone down to, wow, 2.39 on average. That's pretty good. Maybe I can turn the engine up. Or maybe it's just been a unrepresentative few laps because I've been backing off through the traffic. Let's get another clean lap or two in and see if that number goes back up. I don't want to jump the gun
15 minutes left. All right, down.
too early, use too much fuel. Although I can see 4th, 5th and 6th in the mirror closing up behind me. And of course they're going to close up if I keep on making silly mistakes like that. Just running wide, not bothering the apex in the slightest. I'm definitely not on the pace around this track, that's for sure. But that doesn't bother me. I don't have to win. There's no points and prizes on offer here. It's all just for fun, guys. Although, if you're a sim racer too, you'll know that you can't just switch it on and switch it off at will. When you're racing, you want to get every single position, so even though you know it's fun, there's a little switch inside that just tells you that if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver. Although I would be taking these results a lot more seriously if this was the VLMC. I would be concentrating a lot more, that's for sure. I'd have the team watching me, analysing everything I'm doing. And for those of you who are not aware, the VLMC is the Virtual Le Mans Cup. The brand new feeder series for the Virtual Endurance Championship, which has been introduced this season. And I'm lucky enough to be driving for Zancho, car number 67. We did our pre-season race at Silverstone at the end of October? No, end of September. Because today's October. I can't have done a race that's in the future. But yes, end of September, we did our pre-season 2 hours of Silverstone, which went rather well. Nice warm-up event. But the real season begins with points and prizes in Sepang at the end of October. I'll put a link in the video description to when that is going to be. And you'll be very pleased to know I'll be live streaming the whole thing. At this stage, I do believe I'm doing the race solo. I'm not sure if my teammates Nick Dealey or Bryce Lowe will be able to make it. Still to be confirmed. But no matter what happens, I will be broadcasting the whole thing live.
141.12. Okay, Dan, there's a faster car approaching. The gap behind is now 0.41.
Whoa, big slide on the rear. We've got a McLaren Senna making their way through behind us. I'll do my usual wide line and give them the position.
Right side. Clear on the right.
And cut back in. Stop the guy behind me from getting that position, because that is for position. He's closed right up. So the previous lap was a 2.43 fuel usage. You know what? Engine up, guys. Quali mode, here we go. I've got the fuel to burn. I should be able to make it. I need to pull out all the stops to defend against these guys now. Because I'm in third, but I can see 4th, 5th and 6th right behind me in the mirrors. And I'm not driving this well for this long and then giving it all up at the end of the race. I'm holding this third.
Car behind's a faster class.
Car on your right side. Right side's clear. Right side. clear right.
That was a very strange place for the LMP2 to go for the move, around the outside of the slow chicane. Had to back way out of it and lose a heap of time. Because I don't want to get contact. Last thing I want is a messy race and contact with a faster class car, even if he is only 6th in class. Anyway, that was a terrible lap.
Now 43 seconds. Your last lap time was at 1:43.31. Sector 1 is 2.0 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.6 off the pace. Sector 3 is 1.1 seconds off the pace. The gap behind is now 0.8.
So there's a big gap to the car ahead. If you hadn't already worked it out, 2nd place in this race is pretty much unattainable.
Okay, Dan, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
Pulling out all the stops. Increased engine mix. And maximum concentration. This podium is mine, guys. Tell you what though, the AI are putting up a hell of a fight around this track. Very well done. Whoever programmed this in. Not all third-party content for rFactor 2 can be gold. This one's certainly up there. This is a great little track. And that's one of the beautiful things about rFactor 2. When it all works, when it all comes together, there's just nothing else that comes close. But any fellow rFactor 2 user will know that it's not often that it does all come together. We're now running into the final stages of this race, about to complete lap 30 with 8 minutes to go.
The gap ahead is now 41 seconds. That lap was at 1:41.13. The gap behind is now 1.5 seconds.
Got another LMP3 behind us. We'll try and avoid getting the blue flags for too long. Oh, run wide there. I actually don't think this car is about to lap us.
Left side's clear.
Is it for position? I'm not sure. I don't think it's for position. Oh, it must be.
On your left, be on the left.
Got a warning from the race director in the bottom left to move over or receive a penalty. So I'm going to do that. Which has completely put us offline for that corner. Now they're right behind us. Oh my. I'm feeling the pressure.
Faster car approaching. This guy's their class leader.
Ah, chronic understeer. Come on, car. Come on, car. Give me some grip.
Car right. And still there.
Oh, that's for position.
Keep your line.
Oh, there's a centre coming through as well. Just add some more into the
Okay,
mix.
now, come on, stay focused. Apexes and exits. Apexes and exits.
He's still there.
Can we hold him around the outside?
He's still there.
Yes.
He's still with you. Right side's clear.
You've just done a 1:42.63.
Got him. Somehow managed to hold on to third position there. Let's give the centre the inside before we get the penalty for blue flags.
Car approaching.
Right side's clear.
Back on the power. Oh, guys, this is tense. Only a handful of laps here. I know these guys are so much faster than me. And they're all within a second and a half. Sorry for the lack of commentary at the moment. I'm getting my head down. I got maximum concentration on. I need to make sure I don't make any mistakes. Do not give them the opportunity. So I was very lucky to get away with it last lap around because of the McLaren Senna coming through with the traffic. That definitely played to our advantage.
Incident in Sector 3. Sector 3 is yellow.
Oh, we're losing so much time through the final corner.
Has binned it in. Parabolica Air and Senna. Sector 3 is clear.
So much time. I'm going to have to go defensive here. He's got a run on me.
44 seconds. That lap was at 142.18. The gap behind is now 0.10.
Left side's clear.
Faster cars approaching.
Oh, he tried it.
Yellow flag in Sector 2. It looks like Weaver has crashed in Parabolica in Turner. 5 minutes to go. You're looking good for a podium. Sector 2 is clear.
Wasn't Weaver the leader? Now, of course, this could all change if the GTEs start to come into the pits for fuel. We have very, very marginal on the fuel. Senna's going for the inside, going to go for the dive bomb a long way back in the mirrors, so it's given the place. But yeah, if the GTEs haven't been as good as saving their fuel, this could all dissolve away, this battle. Although I think second place and first place, even with pit stops too far down the road, as we completely missed that apex. Run so wide on the exit. Grip is starting to be at a premium here.
Cars approaching. This group includes the class leader. Blue flag.
For good measure, I've got the leader of the LMP2s behind me. No!
Left side, clear on the left.
Oh, he tagged me.
Sector 3 is yellow. Push harder.
No.
Get a podium here. Alright, Dan. Fire her back up. Get back into the fray.
LMP2 tagged me.
Blue flag.
Oh.
Green flag, Sector 3.
Had a little bit of a tap going around the penultimate corner.
Blocking your fronts going into Parabolica Air and Senna.
Oh, I don't believe that. Got taken out by the traffic. Just gave me a little bit of a tap as he was going around the outside and nudged me.
8th place. The gap to early behind is now 7.3 seconds. You're looking your right front into turn 1.
That's just rotten. That's just rotten. I was going to give him the position on the straight. He didn't have to go for the move there. There's only 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in this race. I doubt I'm going to be able to make up any more time on these GTEs ahead of us. Although I'm certainly going to give it a good go. I could see them ahead of me. Maximum attack now. Caution to the wind. Predator mode engaged. I think I'm going to be quiet for this lap, guys. Just going to get my head down.
Yellow flag in Sector 3. Green flag Sector 3. We think that Went has gone off in Parabolica Air and Senna. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes.
So I don't think this will be the last lap. I think maybe the next lap will be the last lap. So 2 to go.
That was 141.02.
We can't finish here in 8th position. That's exactly where we started. Oh, I can see 7 and 6.
There's a faster class car approaching.
That's for position on the road ahead of us.
Sector 2 is yellow.
There might be a small chance
Green flag, Sector 2.
of getting some redeeming features out of this race.
right. Clear right. Car on your right.
There's a group of faster cars behind.
Still there.
Go on, Senna.
Clear right. Car on your right side.
Go!
Car right.
Blue flag.
Still there.
Sector 3 is yellow.
Car on your right side. Keep this line.
We can see Alex has binned it in Parabolica Air and Senna.
Well, if that wasn't going to end the
Clear on
race,
right. Car on your right.
Sector 3
it's
is
certainly
clear.
over now.
Clear right. There's a car on your right. You are clear on the right.
Right, the guy ahead of us is Ernie. You're locking your left front, braking for Parabolica Air and Senna. The gap to Ernie ahead is now 3.3. One more to go. E9. The gap behind is now 0.8. Okay, Dan. 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Got muscled off the track.
You're locking your right front going into turn 1.
I think that was on me, that one. Span the rears as the Senna was getting around the outside. Very frustrating experience with the traffic. It's one of the bad things about the AI in rFactor 2. As much as I was saying it was great before, I have to take it back. The AI are hopeless when it comes to trying to get past you. If there's any kind of an overlap in lapped traffic, they just slow down. They park it on the apex. They should have accelerated. They should have gone away from me, but they just held it there and... well, I mean, even without the spin, I would have lost a heap of time anyway. I mean, that spin was probably out of frustration more than anything else. I just wanted to get on with it. What a disappointing end to the race. Very disappointing end to the race. Started 8th. Had a very good battle at the start. Managed to work our way up to 3rd. And although we were under a lot of pressure towards the end, I think we could have held on to 3rd quite well. And instead we now find ourselves back down in 9th position. And with a hell of a flat spot.
P9. That's the end of the race.
On your left.
Hell of a flat spot on the tyres as well. I think one of those spins definitely
Still with you.
took the life out of the tyres.
Clear on the left.
There's a big vibration on the
Side
wheel.
of the car. You're clear on the left.
Anyway, that was an hour in the Aston Martin GTE Vantage car at Estoril. It was an exciting race, there's no two ways about that. Maybe not the best result, maybe not the result I wanted or necessarily deserved in that race, but that's racing, I guess. You can't always have it your way, you can't always be a winner. And especially after the good result in the Circuit of the Americas in the McLaren Senna. Yeah. Just one of those things, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you had a good look at the Aston Martin. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of the race? What did you think of the car? What do you think of the circuit? I absolutely love the circuit. I could see myself coming back here again in the future. Maybe even in this car. If not, maybe the BMW M8 GTE, my other favourite GTE car. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to see more content like this, more sim racing content, and also to get notified when I go live as part of the VLMC, or any other race for that matter as soon as I go live, then don't forget to press that subscribe button and press that notification button, because then you'll get a little alert that tells you whenever I do something. Alright guys, that's me done for now. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next video.